This is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to a late breaking edition of CLR, Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board certified criminal defense lawyer. And the jury today had a question. Now, when the jury deliberates, if they have some kind of issue, whether it's a technical issue with the equipment they have or the evidence, or they want testimony read back or whatever, they can ask the judge, they can pass the note to the judge, anything that pertains to the trial. They take the note to the judge. Then the judge has to call the parties into the courtroom and read the statement out loud. So the calls in, your clients are generally not there unless it's a criminal case. So let's just watch what the judge has to say.
So as we go, let me just read into the record the question. It's basically in regards to number C, items 1 and 3, and number C is a jury instruction on the finding instruction for the online article title. The question is, does question number 3, the statement is false, pertain to the headline, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath, or does it pertain to the content of the statement, everything written in the op-ed? So I think the confusion came in this particular one because the statement in question is the title of the op-ed. So I think they're just confused as whether it's the whole op-ed or just the title is the statement. And it's clear that the title is the statement. So I was going to answer to say the title is the statement in question for number 3. Does that seem appropriate to everybody?
Okay, we don't need to watch the rest of it because it's kind of boring. But in essence, this is what you can learn from a jury's question. You can kind of peer into their thought process. Now, what does this mean? Well, I've got the verdict form right here. So the very first question is, as to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and face our culture's wrath, that has to change, in the Washington Post Online edition. I spoke up against the sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. Okay, that's what the judge was just talking about. And I think this has to do with the tweet. And the first question is, do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? The answer is yes or no. Now, if they answer yes, you go on. But if they answered no, you go down to the second question. So what can we glean from that? What we can glean from that is that they answered yes. This is big. This is breaking fucking news, folks. If you believe that he has proven all the elements of defamation, then you proceed to the next questions. The next question is, if you answered yes, please answer yes or no to the following questions. So you don't get to these questions, the question that she just said, unless you answer yes to the first question. That is, whether or not Mr. Depp has proven defamation. So the jury has answered that in the affirmative. We know that. So then the next question they asked, the statement was published by Ms. Heard. The statement was about Mr. Depp. And the third one that she just asked, the statement was false. And then the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. And the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. And due to the circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. This is big news because that first element, do you find that they've proven defamation, they've answered that in the affirmative. You can infer that from what the judge just read. So now they're going to go through and they answer all the rest of these. But this is very, very good news for Johnny Depp. Very bad news for Amber Heard. Now, we don't know the answer to the rest of the questions, but they are all pretty similar. Because then you go on to the second part of it. If you answered yes to each subpart, so let's say they answered yes to all the other subparts that I just read to you. If you answered yes to each of the subpart of question 1A, then answer the following question. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard has acted with actual malice. In other words, was she acting out of an evil heart? Was she trying to hurt him, basically? No question in my mind that's going to be yes. So then you go to the second part. As to this statement appearing in the op-ed, this is the actual op-ed, not the online portion of it, a transformative moment for women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against violence and faced the culture's wrath. That has to change. Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. And you answer all those questions again. Number one, do you find that defamation has been proved by Johnny Depp? Answer yes or no, and you answer the same questions for that one. And then, number three, as to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled "A Transformative," this is just more of the same. So, I think this is really good for Mr. Depp, really bad for Amber Heard. And then the last page of the verdict form as it pertains to Mr. Depp are the damages. So I think the question is they've answered it in the affirmative, and I think it's going to be that way all along the line. That's my guess. Whenever you get a question for the jury, lawyers love getting questions from a jury because as you're sitting here waiting, you've seen they've deliberated all day today, a good portion of Friday. They're getting through this, but it's a slog because it was a 6-week trial. It's a very long and complicated verdict form. They have a mountain of evidence to get through. I think they've formulated their opinions and they're working their way through this methodically. I can't tell you how much we love getting these questions because then we think we know what the jury's thinking, but it may just be one juror that would like to know the answer to a particular question. However, you don't get to those questions. That's the thing about a civil verdict form is that do you find liability? Because you don't get to damages unless you've gotten through liability. So in this case, do you answer affirmatively in that first question? And then they have to answer all the other subparts. And if they answered yes to the first question, they found defamation. He's halfway home. So, thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe, follow, like us on, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram.